usual, we had a couple of glitches setting up.
No problemo.
Here you know.
Good idea then. Do you want to introduce what
Yeah, Mervelee,
Yes.
we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So, as I'm one to say, this is Mervelee Myers, your blogger from Alma Grove. That's the voice you will hear most of the time. I am privileged to be working in the company of Andy and Anthony Devine from my neck of the woods in Westmoreland. I'm going to say how we meet up in England here. It was at a Manning School event. And then I actually saw Anthony's petition and I signed up and we've been like tugging along ever since. So Anthony came on board to support me in 2022 when I was served with papers and Anthony just took over everything and we had a very good outcome. I'm back here today because I'll be focusing on Anthony today. If it wasn't for Anthony, you wouldn't be speaking to me now. I'd be imprisoned, evicted, waiting for them to send me to prison, and then on my return, it would be called housing for drugs, because that was the basis of whatever it is my solicitor had agreed with my housing association. You can find me online. I'm out there doing a lot of things. I will put my hand up to say you might find some things out there that's not very palatable, as we are one to say where I come from, but I went through a phase where I was physically being knocked down. It's like in the story where they put you in was it the bird or something? They put in a container and keep pouring water and banging. So it's thanks to Anthony why I am here today. And I've been on Andrew's ScambusterTV before, so I'm no stranger. And that's me in a nutshell. What you see is what you get.
Yeah. So just to recap a little bit, you last time they were saying they had prosecution proceedings at the Croydon Magistrates, yeah?
Yes.
So that's where they wanted to do my wife the same over some council tax thing, and we managed to get a written confession from the court manager in Croydon, which is a big history now. But they just confessed everything is fake. They hired a courtroom and blah, blah, blah. But still they're jailing people. Still they're carrying on. And your case came up. They wanted to lock you up for various, so they had prosecutions. And anyway, they dropped the case. But did they give you any compensation for the false prosecution?
Not for the one in
Croydon.
And not for others that I've taken out. I've even have a judgment for £9,000.
Yeah.
And I haven't received that yet. And they're still striking out.
Yeah, so anything you try to claim, they knock it out somehow. But
yes.
when they got the fake claims against you, they want to follow that to the end.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So just briefly about you, you're a Jamaican lady. You got the maroon, you got the maroon genes in you, and you've also been the face of Windrush 7. What was it?
If you can see over here.
I can't see over there, 70. But we can't see your camera.
All right. That's for another time. So I'll just briefly say how I became the face of Windrush 70. So like Anthony will know, we have our old saying, so somebody dream to you or whatever your fate is. So I got up the morning and I was inspired to put on my national costume. That's a big thing where I come from. Coming from the African tradition, of course, and out of many one people in Jamaica. So I arrived at Westminster Abbey, and as I was walking up, like, Puss on Hat Brick, all them cameras were focused on me.
Wow.
Hence, I became the face of Winrush 70. So I was in the ITV
Yeah.
news, page 1 of ITV news,
Yeah.
ahead of Prime Minister Theresa May at the time. So, you know, I must have been doing something special.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it's all gonna come back because we're gonna do some Windrush project on the deporting, but well, that's for another day.
Mhm.
But okay, so yeah, you got over this Croydon magistrate,
Mhm.
and that's all done. And then they seem to want to evict you from your house for some reason. I remember one time they wouldn't take the rent from you. Do you remember?
They basically wiped the portal clean of everybody, everything.
Yeah.
Wouldn't accept email. It was just terrible what they did.
And then you had to actually send, I believe you send postal orders or by registered mail or something.
I had to. I got it sorted out in the
Yeah.
end, but not
Yeah.
before I went into rent arrears. And then I was
Right.
threatened verbally that they're gonna evict me.
So yeah, they set you up to fail. Anyway, that come and gone, and then you've had a lot of issues. Your husband passed away, and now we got a new breed of court proceedings again. This time in the Clerkenwell and Shoreditch County Court, where they're saying they have committal proceedings. Get committal, that means prison, right?
Yes.
Based on an injunction, an order of injunction, and the one of the main things today we're talking about how they were saying they want to repossess you and jail you at the same time, and they were
Yes.
trying to do it over Christmas.
Yes.
And they had a hearing just before Christmas. You were
So
never
they-
gonna go home.
So I'll explain a little bit about that. I had a date for a hearing for the 13th of
Right.
December. And then all of a sudden I got letter to say that they had put it forward to the 9th
Yeah.
for some reason or other. But to cut a long story short, I was not needed for the hearing at the 9th.
Yeah.
And then
but-
I got information about certain things about medical review and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which was false.
Yeah, so they had a psychiatric report, but somebody called Toby is tuned in. I presume it's Toby Lee, the famous Toby Lee. So hello, thank you for tuning in. But yeah, so the Dr. Phil Gregory made a psychiatric assessment. He came knocking on your door one day, which you didn't know him. You
So
don't know
I'll
who-
explain a little bit. Put it in the mix. So I got an invitation. I was referred to this big name place that Anthony is talking about. Yeah. So the community mental health team, psychological medicine and older adults directorate. So I was contacted because somebody had referred me. Don't mind being referred. It's more ammunition for me. So I actually went out and I saw Dennis in the company of my son, Kevin Murray, who was here at the time. Unfortunately, my son is in hospital at this moment, high blood pressure in Jamaica. Okay. So I saw Dennis, and for me, it was a good outcome. At least I think somebody was listening. And then the next thing, the conversation continued and somebody came here and we had a good conversation, of course. I got a report. But then I was contacted by this Dr. Phil Gregory. I didn't know anything about Dr. Phil Gregory.
Right.
In the end, he invited me to a meeting up at Marina's house, and then he wanted to come here, which I was open, and honestly, I
Right.
invited him with open arms. And then he invited me again to Marina House. That's when they gave me some information about risperidone.
Yeah.
So of course I'm gonna read.
That's a drug, right? Risperidone,
Right.
psychiatric drug, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
of course I took the information to read and everything.
Right.
And by the time now, I made an appointment to go discuss the information on this form. But for some reason, I was having second thoughts and I was thinking, no, I'm not going in that place alone. So I tried to get somebody to accompany me and it wasn't happening. So I
Right.
decided I wasn't going. And then I got a phone call on a private number, of course. And then when
Mhm.
I realized where the conversation was going, I recorded. So it was Dr. Phil
Right.
Gregory, of course. And we are
Right.
here. So he sent this medical report to the solicitors. Of
Mhm.
course, now that I see certain things going certain way, I'm thinking they're all in it together. So that's how this
But
medical report.
the psychiatric report that he sent, it had a photocopy signature, and it mentioned court order 8 times, I believe. Yeah.
It was not factual. There was nothing factual
No,
in
no,
it.
I know, but
Okay, okay, you go ahead.
he mentioned court orders in his report.
Yeah.
Many times.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to pull out here.
Focus.
And
Okay.
then in his report did not mention that you just lost your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your husband was like 100-year-old or something.
101 and 1 month.
And that wasn't mentioned in the report.
Nothing of that.
Right. So that report was going to be used against you in court, right?
Yeah.
So you questioned the report. You wrote to the hospital, South London and Maudsley.
Yes.
And you said, you pointed out some of the things
Errors.
in the report, and you said you want to see these court orders that are in your medical report. Because if something's going to be in a medical report, they got to have a copy.
Mm-hmm.
And what response did you get from the hospital?
Well, basically, they said they were doing an inquiry.
Right, so they're investigating the matter. So as we
Yes.
speak now, it's under investigation. And just for the record, I'm going to try and pull up the Company's House, what we found with this South London and Maudsley. How do I share it? Here we go. Here we go. South London and Maudsley NHS Trust is owned by a couple of companies. One of which he says here, there's an active proposal to strike off the Company's House register. So this company is called Maudsley Developments Limited, which is a property company that seems to own the NHS Trust, and it's in the process of being struck off the Company's House register. And then there's another one. Where are we? Maudsley Commercial LLP dissolved. It's showing us dissolved that Company's House. So you raised some questions about that, what protection do you have from this thing, make a false report and then going bankrupt at the same time? This is NHS, it's so shady. And then what did they say about Dr. Phil Gregory after you put that in?
Well, of course, he was off the case, but I need to point.
Yeah.
I need to point out as well that I got a letter now from the trust.
Yeah.
It's like a threat. I should not contact Dr. Gregory after they said they were investigating. So I don't know, understand that.
So he can make a report against you to file in court, and you mustn't contact him to ask him to explain his report.
Yeah.
So this is all. Anyway, that's where we are. And then moving on, the lawyer, your lawyer, do you mind to name your lawyer and the company?
So it's J.I. Solicitors.
J.I. Solicitors, yeah?
Yeah. Solar AO.
Mm-hmm.
And there I need to name the barrister, Miranda Grell, and to say that during a Zoom meeting with my sons who were here at the time,
Yeah.
it was made clear to me. Remember, I'm grieving for my husband and everything.
Yes, yes.
But it was made clear that if I didn't accept their terms of representing me, then I wouldn't be represented. So that's how I am in this SHIT that I'm in. Basically, the solicitor and the barrister.
And one of their terms was that I believe if you agreed to take
Medication.
risperidone,
Yeah.
they would cancel the eviction proceedings.
Yeah,
So it's housing for drugs.
exactly.
So we got the NHS working with the lawyer, the barrister, Housing for Women, Housing Association, the court,
Yeah.
and the police. What chance have you got?
None at all.
Because apart from that, they're saying they have an injunction against you, and it's been mentioned in various reports everywhere. Have you seen the injunction, the order?
No.
And you've asked the court for the claim or the computer records, or did the court reply to you?
No.
So you have a lawyer, you have the court, you have the housing association, the local
The
authority,
police, the ambulance service.
and nobody
You
can
name them,
produce
they're
this.
there.
Nobody can produce this order of injunction.
No.
Okay, so you have a neighbor that keeps banging your door.
Yeah.
Quite hard, not a little bang like the Amazon delivery man, but some very disturbing banging on a regular basis. Tell us a little bit about that. And what's her name?
So, okay, so my neighbor is Debbie Gilchrist. I'm not so much concerned about her apart from her erratic behavior. It's her male partner who is in here that I'm really concerned about, because when she kicks the door in the morning, every morning she goes out, she gives the door a kick. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
But it's the man, he goes out early, he does early deliveries. And he will bang that door so hard, like it's vibrating in my head. But then he has moments when he'll come and he kick the door, he goes back up, he come another 5 minutes, and by the time he's finished, it's as if I've lost my voice, everything is going. That's who I'm concerned about. But they have friends also who come inside here, and I was told a story. I don't have any evidence to say it's fact, but without prejudice. So there might be things happening in here that's...
Okay, but based on what actually, it seems to me, they bang the door and then they try to get the police involved to come and say you breach your injunction because you're retaliating to this harassment.
Yeah.
And then they want to say that you got mental health because nobody banged your door, you're just hearing things.
I'm making it up.
And then you started to record it.
Yes.
So now they can't say you're making it up.
Yeah.
And the other day, the police came around on the incident. And when the police came at your call, where did the police go?
Upstairs.
The police went to their property.
First.
And you called the police.
And I called the police.
Unbelievable. And did they arrest them?
No, they come to threaten me.
But the police told you next time they come, it will be different, whatever that means.
Yeah, if they find any evidence. But they spend about half an hour upstairs and come down. When I say how are you up, they say there 15 minutes. I said, where are you recording? They said it's estimate, but it was more than 15 minutes.
Yeah. So tell me how the police respond when they come in your property and see that you're recording. What do they say?
Well, the last time, the last one that came, they came because I called. He just walked out. So he spent less than 10. He just walked out. He has his body cam on, but I'm not supposed to record. Right.
So he was scared of your camera.
Yeah.
What would be the problem if he sat down in front of your camera and speak to you nicely, ask you what he wants to ask, take the evidence, and do whatever he has to do. Even if he was to go to the neighbors and say, look, please, if it was you, please don't harass the woman, and just leave it at that. But they seem to be all the time trying to find you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
But if the other people are doing something wrong, then it just gets
Yeah,
swept
they get
under the rug.
they get a pat on the back for harassing me.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up this conversation now. But what's the date they set for your hearing in?
So I
in-
have 2 hearings in March. One is the 7th of March and one is the 10th.
So
and it took me almost a whole month to get some of that information from the solicitor after the date of the 9th.
Right, this is the JI solicitor, yeah? So what we're gonna put a event on the Scambuster Facebook group, and if anybody can go and support this lady on those 2 dates, 7th of March and 10th of March, if they don't drop the case by then, we would much appreciate it, because we're losing public justice, and this is the reason they can get away with so much. You can't have a committal in a county court. It's not possible. We just had one in Liverpool with a guy called John Molloy, and we put our paperwork in. They let him out within 3 days, apologize, and he's telling him he can claim compensation. So you cannot have anybody facing a committal hearing in a county court. It's bullshit. It's a serious miscarriage of justice and abuse of process and everything imaginable wrong, counterfeiting. And so we done a video for you last time, which was on Facebook, and this video is called Winning for Justice, because your activity is called what's something for justice. What's your thing called again?
I have a fight for justice that
I started. So
I started on Facebook. Yeah.
So we call this video at the time Winning for Justice, which it took about with all the other things you did, it took care of the Croydon false imprisonment threats. So this time we gotta resurrect that video somehow, and this video is going on. This video is a crime complaint, it's a criminal complaint. We're gonna do another video about the Barnet Judge Nicholas Parfit that acted in your case. So I'm doing a little teaser. Is you had one discredited judge, Judge Dyke.
Yeah.
And you complained, and they took him off the case, and they put another
Parfit.
judge called Nicholas Parfit.
Yeah.
So been discredited for making up false orders for convicted murderers in prison. Does this fit the bill for the serious fraud office? We're going to find out. Okay. So the same judge was on my case, so that's bing. Imagine we're both from Westmoreland in Jamaica, and all the way in England, we live in far apart, and we get the same mother effing judge. What's the coincidence of that? So anyway, to round it off, we're asking people to support the campaign, www.ScambusterTV. Share it, get involved. This is the only thing that matters. All the justice campaigning going on in the world are very important, very good. But the only one that really counts is the one that fights against them making up false orders against you, and you can't get an order to fix it. So this is the place to put the energy. This is the bullseye. We've been going nearly 9 years. They suppress us, they banned us, they sued us. We're still going. So this campaign is a blessing to humanity, but we must give it the respect and see the importance. Even Donald Trump got raided on a fake warrant and he can't do nothing about it. So this is where we are as a planet. So Andy, close us off and let's call it quits.
Just to, while I was sat there listening to your story there, Mervelee, it reminds me exactly the same, because I mean I was helping a lady out, a beautiful lady, Carol Woods, and the gaslighting that she took from whether it be Masonic, well, I take it's Masonic, but they cover up the gaslighting they were receiving so that they can get her out the way. Is so very, very similar to the same gaslighting you're receiving by your neighbour. And people was put in the place to actually cause the trouble.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Just so that you know that that's clear now. It's clear what's happening to you now. But apart from that, God bless you, darling. You stand true.
Andy, we've got another guest called Andy. Thanks for joining, and God bless.
Yeah, we'll round it
All
to that. Yeah.
Cheers.
Take care now.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye now.